Socialization, the process of learning the norms and values of a culture. Formal education, education that takes place in classrooms, with professional teachers and set content to be taught and learned. Informal education, education that takes place outside the classroom or through daily interactions. Official curriculum, the subjects that are taught and the content to be covered. Norms, the behavior that societies expect of their members in particular situations. Values, standards shared by members of a culture and used to judge whether behavior is right or wrong. Key terms: social control, ways in which members of society are made to conform to norms and values. Functions of education, the ways in which education contributes to society. Gender roles, the roles and expectations associated with being male or female. State schools, schools that are funded and run, directly or indirectly, by the government. Private schools, schools that are funded by fees paid by the parents or guardians of learners, not run or controlled by the government. Limitations of private schools and strengths of state schools. Few people can afford to send their children to private schools, because of the strengths of private schools regarding class size, curriculum and facilities. Children who attend private schools are likely to do better. Strengths of private schools and limitations of state schools. Classes in private schools tend to be smaller, so individual learners get more attention from the teacher. Selective education, when schools choose their learners, usually based on their ability. Non-selective schools, schools which accept all learners, regardless of ability. Strengths of non-selective schools and limitations of selective schools. Non-selective schools allow equality of opportunity. All learners study the same subjects and have an equal chance of succeeding. Limitations of non-selective schools and strengths of selective schools. Non-selective schools bring down standards, as learners who could progress more quickly have to work at the same speed as learners who need more support. Anti-school subculture. A group of learners whose norms and values reject those of the school streaming. When children are taught all subjects in classes with other children of a similar ability setting. When children are taught a particular subject with other children of a similar ability, single-sex schools. Schools which only accept either male or female learners. Strengths of single-sex schools and limitations of coeducational schools. Single-sex schools for girls may avoid some of the problems girls experience in coeducational schools, such as boys getting more attention from teachers, using science equipment more, or dominating classroom discussions. Strengths of coeducational schools and limitations of single-sex schools. Bringing boys and girls together in one school is part of socialization. It helps children to learn how to mix with others and how to behave with people of the other gender. For example, boys will gain experience of being around and talking to girls. As a result, they are more likely to treat girls and women with respect. Key term: faith schools. Schools which are linked to a particular religion or faith and promote that faith through their ethos and curriculum. Strengths of faith schools. Supporters of faith schools say that the children who attend them will acquire strong moral values, which will make them good members of society. Limitations of faith schools. Where there are several religious groups within a society, faith schools can segregate and divide children. Strengths of international schools. International schools often achieve very good academic results, as good as, or better than, local schools. Limitations of international schools. They can be divisive. Learners who attend them may not integrate into local communities or adapt to local cultures. Online learning. Distance education delivered electronically, via the Internet, using digital technology. Homeschooling. Education of school-aged children in the home, rather than at school. Unschooling. Informal learning without lessons or a curriculum, in which the learner chooses what and how to learn. Progressive schooling. Education which breaks away from traditional lessons and curriculum and focuses on experience. Meritocracy. A system in which individuals reach the social positions they deserve, based on their educational achievement, talent and skills. Social mobility. The movement of individuals or groups up or down the social hierarchy. Role allocation. Sorting individuals into appropriate jobs and roles based on achievement in school. Standardized testing. When all learners take the same assessments, which are marked in the same way,